Good afternoon.
Got nothing.
Matt, volume, okay. Okay, thank you. Good afternoon. It is right at 3 o'clock, so we'll get started. And we will, in our tradition, open with a moment of silence. Thank you. All right, happy early July 3rd, pre-holiday. We've got a great agenda. The most important part will be at the end, so pleased to be able to have some, you'll see at the end. I don't want to give too much away. All right. Here's our agenda. I'm going to give a brief community update, including campus life. Our life enrichment coordinator, Whitney, is off this week, so I'll be giving her update. Jasmine will give us a wellness update. Carly will talk about dining, and then Jordan will wrap things up with the very exciting, good employee scholarship presentation at the end. So, all right. First of all, community update. A few reminders. You guys know about File of Life. We have about 50 in Guilford residents that have not yet turned in their information. So first of all, we do routine reminders about updating your information. So if you have not done that, please do so. In an emergency, that becomes important. So please do update your information. If you have not turned in your File of Life information to Kelly Hodges, please do so. If you are not sure where to find Kelly, her office is right beside mine, across from the reception desk where Sherry sits. So I think that takes care of that's right, see your resident services coordinator to update your file. One clarification, we've had some questions about the blue folder. The File of Life replaces the blue folder. If you have additional information, you can write it on at the bottom of your what I call face sheet or general information sheet, to where to find other additional information if you'd like to do that. But you don't want to put too much in that File of Life. It's really intended to be just that demographic information with a few other critical things that EMS would need to have access to in case of an emergency. All right. If you need an additional document, if you lost yours, let us know. We'll be glad to get that to you so you can fill it out. All right. Over at West, in our West neighborhood, they are doing some renovations to the resident lounge. If you use that lounge, just be aware of that. It will be closing Friday. And the other points as to where things are listed there. I think the coffee station is already moved. So if you are someone that takes advantage of using that space over at West, it is being updated starting Friday. Update on the pet policy. We made an adjustment. We talked about my favorite, Poo Prints. Unfortunate name, but a good service. So we'll be getting DNA for all pets. If that applies to you, we will be August 26th collecting DNA on pets that are registered here. Going forward, as residents have new pets, and I know this doesn't apply to everyone, but folks in townhouses, folks that do have pets, will be collecting DNA samples as we have new residents that bring pets. And again, August 26th, going for existing folks that applies to, we will be collecting DNA.
Why is that?
Why is that? That, we talked about this at the last town hall, but that allows us to track where a pet's waste, track it to which pet that is, so that we can manage the cleanup more effectively and prevent folks that forgot somehow to pick up after their pet. Yes?
It only applies to dogs, right? Yes, it's not.
Only applies to dogs. Is that right? I'm not gonna repeat what just got fed to me, but anyway. So, campus life update, exciting day tomorrow, some good things planned. My favorite Avenger, Captain America, is in the Blockbuster Red, White, and Blue Blockbuster lineup. You can see a marathon of patriotic movies, and we also have the jazz quintet over here tomorrow at 1:30 right here. So got a lot of things planned for the 4th of July to celebrate. Hope you'll take advantage of that. And also some other things during the month. On the 10th, just a few things to highlight. North Carolina Zoo doing a presentation in the West Living Room, and on the 24th, interactive presentation along with the bus tour and going to Ozzy's Ice Cream. So I might join that, but all right. Then we are doing a CareMerge relaunch. So a few points with that. I think if you're not familiar, or if you want to attend the CareMerge Basics, never a bad thing to be reminded of how CareMerge works. You could attend either of those sessions, one here and one at West. How to sign up for an event on CareMerge, that's a separate training course that we'll be conducting on the 17th and 18th. And then importantly, if you're like me, placing names and faces together can be a challenge. So if you would please help us by having your photo taken so that we can put it in CareMerge, that would be very helpful to your fellow residents and to me as well. Again, that just helps people know each other, and we will load those into CareMerge. Certainly understand if you don't want to have your picture taken, but it sure is helpful if you would do that. So, oh, and the note there, that's good. Bring your laptop or mobile device if you would like to one of the training sessions, so as you go through, you can learn in real time how to navigate CareMerge. All right. Lastly, you've seen the bus, possibly in the reception area outside of Sherry's desk, and that school bus, we are collecting supplies to donate to children that need that to start their school off in a good way. So we would encourage you to donate, drop the supplies right there in that very creative looking school bus. There's one located there and one also at West. I don't know where it is at West, but
Activity room 1.
Activity room 1, there we go. Okay, so you see some of the items that would be good to donate. If you could donate items, I'm sure those children would appreciate it. So,
Teachers.
all right, that is it for the community updates, and takes us to Jasmine, who will give us a wellness update.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jasmine Hernandez, your wellness director. I'm going to kick it off that we are recruiting for the Olympics. It is time again, And this will be our first year where we're actually gonna split the Olympics for a fall and a spring. So that's why you see a little bit smaller this time. But it is time to sign up. So if you are interested, you can either give us a call, either Kayla or myself, or you can stop by the office in the Wellness Center at West and you can sign in and fill in your name. We have a billiards for men, bocce for women, chair volleyball, walking, bocce for men, pickleball, quiz bowl, and then puzzles and golf prior. So if you are interested, please let me know. And to kick it off, we thought it would be fun to have a Summer Olympics prior. Well, because we are having the Summer Olympics, and that's in Paris, and we're gonna start off with the Summer Olympics opening ceremony that is in the Life Enrichment Center at 2 p.m. Friday, July 26th. That same day at 3 p.m., we have a staff versus resident chair volleyball in the Wellness Center Sports Court. Monday, July 29th, we have the first Modern Olympic Games and the boys of Team USA presented by resident Dick Swanson, and that is in the West Living Room. Tuesday, July 30th, 2 p.m., resident table tennis singles, ladies will start first, and that's in the Wellness Center game room. August 5th, 3 p.m., we have another staff versus resident pickleball rematch, Wellness Center Sports Court, that's right. And then we'll have our finale, staff versus resident pickleball, Thursday at 3 p.m., Sports Court. The last thing is August 9th, 2 p.m., we'll have a staff versus resident basketball shootout. If any of this is you're interested in, please let us know. We can sign you up, or if you have any other questions, I am more than happy to answer them. And then I just wanted to give a reminder of all of our July wellness events. All of this was or is in your connections and in Care Merge. We have advanced care planning with Trellis, Tuesday, July 9th at 2 p.m. West Living Room. Container gardening class for those who like to be outside with Daryl Shores, your director of EBS. Wednesday, July 17th at 9:30 a.m. That's in the small courtyard at West, so that's near the front reception desk. We are bringing You Go Girl back, so it's not too late if you still want to sign up. That should be in the books. Every Monday for 4 weeks beginning July 8th at 2 p.m. LEC at West. You must attend the first session. Outsmart your smart device with Trinity Rehab. They're going to bring us a lecture Wednesday, July 24th at 2 p.m. West Living Room, and then Thursday, July 25th at 2 p.m. in Guilford Living Room. And then I am calling all artists that participated this year in the Bright Spire Artist Showcase. We would love to have your artwork displayed here at Guilford. If you participated this year, please let us know if you want your artwork to be shown again. And then finally, we have our July schedule out. It is live on Care Merge. If you want a physical copy, just let me know. There should be one in the solarium or in the office. That is all.
Hello, everybody. I'm here for dining with a phone system update. I know we've talked about this for several months, and it is here. So we are streamlining the dining phone process. I will send out a letter to everyone on Friday so that you all don't have to memorize this information and you can refer back to it. But there will be some changes. So you'll see we do have one number that you'll call for all the dining venues. And then when you call that number, it will ask you which venue you want to go to. So you'll hear, press 1 for the Ruth, press 2 for Cobles, and so on. So you can pick your venue. And then you'll hear a couple different options. So you'll have the opportunity to press 1 to place an order. You'll push another button if you would like to hear the hours of operation. And then you'll also be able to push a button if you want to hear the takeout policies and the cutoff times and things like that. So this will be helpful for those of you that need that information, but for those of you that already know it and are tired of hearing it on our voicemail, you don't have to listen. We also will have the old or the current extensions that work as well. So if you don't want that auto attendant, you could still just dial the extension for the Ruth or the Dogwood Deli or any of the venues. You won't hear any of those choices. It would just take you to the phone line. I also did want to note, we've had some people putting takeout orders in with the main kitchens. If you all will make sure if you call to leave a takeout that you're calling the actual dining venues. We don't call and give you a confirmation for your takeout order, but we do get them and then we'll fill them, or if we have questions, then we'll give you a call as well. I also just wanted to include some information on sustainability. I know that's something that's really important to you all. So these are sustainability scorecards. So I've switched over to Guilford, but we have one for the West Campus as well. And this just shows all of the different ways that we purchase responsibly and sustainably. So you're able to look at it, and we have the opportunity to be able to track the different items that we're purchasing sustainably, see what we do well, and then where there's areas of opportunity. But as you look at this, I really wanted to just share that out of our Southeast region, we have one of the highest sustainability scores, so that's been something that we can be proud of and know that it's important to not just you all, but us as well.
I can't read any of that.
Oh, I can go back.
I can't read it anyway.
Well, no, but I can hit the highlights.
Well, say what you're trying to do.
Sure. So in your top left, you've got local produce supporting American family farms. And this captures some of our produce purchases. We also use a local produce company out of Raleigh. They're called Wards, and they're not captured in that number. And then you've got certified humane, cage-free eggs, dairy-free of artificial growth hormones, poultry produced without the routine use of human antibiotics. Then in your bottom left, you have eco and fair trade certified coffee, poultry produced without the routine use of human antibiotics, again, and then you have dairy-free of artificial growth hormones, and then 80% of our seafood is purchased from sustainable sources. Of course. And that is it for me.
Thank you, Carly. Okay, just a few fun updates. How many people have worked with Wendy on their way into the community? So more than half of the room. I want to take a moment and recognize Wendy. She's been promoted from the position of sales counselor to director of sales and marketing. So she's in charge of that whole department now. We love to show progressive growth through the company, and she's just done a fantastic job in her role as sales counselor. And when the opportunity came up, we spoke to a lot of other people. We just kept on going back to Wendy as the best candidate, and so we're so pleased to see her grow within our organization and step into a new role. So we want to congratulate Wendy for a job well done and for her promotion. And if you see her, yeah, we can give her a round of applause. We put a memo out letting you all know about this, but if you see her and you haven't had a chance to say congratulations, please do. Now, this is a lot of information, and I don't expect you to be able to read it all, but there are some folks who may be able to. I just wanted to share our finances with you a little bit. I do this every month. A lot of times I give you more of a high-level review. This is actually a pretty in-depth view. I'm going to start with our census. Our census right now is doing quite well. As a community, we're ahead of budget by 3%. You see our budget for census is 91%. Our actual census is 94%. This is not just for Guilford. Whenever I present these numbers, they are for Friends Homes. We are one community, one set of finances, and so that's what I'm referring to here. This is consolidated numbers. So we're ahead of budget in independent living census. We're just a little under in assisted living census, and then we're ahead of budget in skilled nursing, which is Whittier, in our skilled nursing census. So overall, we're doing really well. And the financial performance of our community ties in directly to census. So all the way at the top, I can use a pointer if this has a pointer on it. I believe it does. See this number right here? Ha, I knew the answer to that question before I asked. Some said yes and some said no. We're ahead of budget by $392,000 for the year. So I won't get into all the minutia of what that means, but basically revenue minus expenses equals your net operating income, and we're ahead of budget by $392,000. Our operating cash, $7 million. It's cash in the bank. Trustee held funds. That's money that we're holding in preparation of paying debt. We have our investments. We have our outstanding bonds payable. That is our debt. We have our net entry fees right here. Actual versus budget. You see we're doing well. That again ties into our census and our move-ins. Those are the entry fees that we collected this year to date. And then this money right here, purchase fixed assets, that's our capital expenditures so far this year. So we're a little ahead of budget, but that's okay. Let's see, our debt service coverage ratio required is 1.2. We're actually at 3. Our budget is 1.82. That's our ability to pay our debt. So this is a very good number, twice as good as what it needs to be. Days cash on hand. Our budget is $616, 616 days cash on hand. Our actual is 814. So if business stopped today, if we stopped collecting your rents today, we could continue to run the business for another 814 days. Yeah. But if we did that, that would be a really big problem. Yeah, we'd have no cushion. So no margin, no mission. That's the way it actually works. No margin, no mission. You have to have that cushion. So what does that say? What does that say about this community? Anybody know? What was that? It's well run, yeah. I feel comfortable saying that. This is a community that's in good financial standing, and you should be very proud of that. It certainly is a source of pride for us. You want to have a little bit of margin. You want to have the rainy day fund. You want to collect the right amount to run the business, not too much, certainly not too little. And we know there's some communities in the area that are not as financially strong. There's one about an hour and a half away that's in big trouble, right? We're singing a different song here. We're doing a good job. So again, we should all be proud about that.
Can I ask a question?
Yes?
On the 74 million.
Yes?
Is some of that nominated for certain projects?
Yes. You're talking about the investments?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, so you have the resident assistance fund is in there. And then there's just general investments where we take some of that margin and we invest it. And it's meant to be there truly as a foundation for financial health. Whenever a bank looks at a community like ours, they want to make sure that they have a good financial foundation in order to lend money. So when we did the expansion, for instance, they looked very specifically at our ability to pay our debt, at the amount of money that was in the bank, how it was invested. You know, are we invested in Bitcoin, or are we invested in bonds, or really solid investment sources? So they look at all of that. So we're BBB- rated, and that's how we get that rating. So there's a number of areas, and we actually, we receive financial reports that kind of shows. The other thing is that we're very careful to invest in companies that meet our ESG requirements. Companies that align with our values and our mission, right? So there's a lot that goes into that.
Thank you.
I hope I answered that correctly. I mean, that I answered your question. Request response. Requests. Can we skip the long message when we want to make a reservation or place a to-go order? Now, Carly just spoke about that. So that came from the residents. They said, gosh, we're so tired of hearing that big long message every time we call to make an order. Is there something that you can do about it? It took some time. We admit that. We had to work with the telephone company. We had to take a bunch of different steps to make it happen. But we were able to do that. Another request from the residents, please provide more communication. How many times have you heard somebody say that? You need to communicate more. You need to communicate better. I wish we had better communication or more communication. Now, we're communicating in a lot of different ways, but we did add a few more options for communication. All right, so we just completed Java with Jordan about 2 weeks ago. Anybody attend Java with Jordan? Nancy was there, yes, Charlie was there, Claire was there. It's meant to be a smaller group, not a group this big, an intimate setting. It was myself, it was Steve, Matt, Mark Ford in maintenance. We all sat here and we just had a conversation with the residents. We answered their questions. We shared some information with them. It's just a two-way conversation. No script, no presentation, just dialogue. So that's one new meeting. We're going to continue to do that. We have completed a number of Discover Assisted Living presentations. Anybody else attend Discover Assisted Living yet? You were just there yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah. This presentation is meant to pull back the veil and show you what a move to assisted living looks like. Why do you move to assisted living? What will you experience once you live there? What does it cost? What are the room sizes? What are the services offered? We want to make sure that folks that live here in independent living understand the services that are available to them. And so we're going to continue to host this presentation throughout the year. And our goal is that everybody in this room and beyond attends this presentation so that they are fully understanding what's available to them. And a new meeting that's going to be on July 10th at 10 o'clock right here in this room is a new, it's called the building meeting. It doesn't have a snappy name, but it is, it is what the name says. It's a building meeting. And what we're doing is we're having a building meeting with every building at Friends Homes, specifically for that building or for the hall. Okay, so the first meeting, I believe, is with Hobbs. And if you haven't received an invitation, you will. You'll certainly get a reminder. But we hope that all the Hobbs residents join us for that meeting. And what we'll be discussing is a number of things related to security, maintenance, EVS, and then administration will be there as well. So there'll be some presentations. We want to talk about safety. We want to talk about upcoming projects that are very specific to your building. Okay? So we're not going to answer every question that ever existed under the sun. We're going to focus on a few areas. But again, this is just another form of sharing information with you, and we hope that you find it helpful. And every month, it'll be a different meeting, a different building that we meet with until we're through the entire community. Another request. Please address the cable service and lack of DVR availability at the Ridgecrest and Villa apartments. Many of you have heard about this. Many of you are experiencing some difficulties with your TV service, but I would say that the issue is primarily with the Ridgecrest apartments on this campus. I think generally folks who are receiving Spectrum cable in Hobbs and Foxamore, I think it's pretty stable for the most part. Not perfect, but we're in decent shape. Ridgecrest in particular, there's some challenges. We are continuing to pursue a solution with Spectrum for all existing Spectrum customers. So not much should really change. But we're at a point where we need to renew the contract. And then for Ridgecrest and the Quaker Hill homes, we're looking at potentially bringing Spectrum in there. It's not a guarantee, but we are exploring that. And then for the Villa apartments, I know it doesn't affect pretty much everyone here, I just want you to know that we're looking at something else for the villas because they have a very specific type of infrastructure in those new buildings. We have to look at another option. All that to say, we believe we're very close to finalizing an agreement, but we want to be 100% sure before we put out a memo and say this is exactly what's happening, and before we share the plan. So, as recently as Saturday, I sent updated information to Spectrum and stuff that they were asking me to provide. And so now we're waiting for them to take that information, flip it into a contract, and send it back to us. Nothing is guaranteed, and I can't stress that enough. Nothing is guaranteed. Again, we've been down this road before, but we are actively working on it. I think the challenge for residents sometimes is that they don't actually see us working on it, so they might say, what in the world are they doing? And why is it taking so long? At the end of the day, you just want your cable to work. And I understand that. I truly do understand that. So I wanted to let you know where we stand today, and I also want to take a moment to thank the folks who have been heavily affected by some of the disruptions in the cable service. So thank you for your patience. We're hoping that we're nearing the end of that road. And now the moment that you've all been waiting for. This is a really happy time in the life of our community. A few months ago, a very special resident, he happens to be in the back of the room, Charlie Ruth. Yeah, there he is, he's waving. A few months ago, Charlie, there was something on his heart. He wanted to create a scholarship fund for our employees. And so he did that very generously. He created a scholarship fund working with Carson Sperring in our development department. And it was established. We formed a committee of residents. We have representatives from Guilford, we have representatives from West that came together, and they reviewed the applications from our employees. We received 8 applications from our employees to receive a scholarship. These are all employees that are in good standing, providing great service to our residents. And the residents that were on the committee took the time to review the applications. It was a blind review. And so we didn't know their names. We didn't know what they looked like. We didn't know if they were male or female. We didn't know anything other than the department they worked in, the school that they were studying at, and the program that they were pursuing. And then we asked them to share a few words about what the scholarship would mean to them. So that's what we had to go by. And so we met and we really labored over the decisions. And I'm happy to say that of the 8 applicants, 4 received a $2,000 scholarship to further their education. Isn't that great? 3 of the recipients are here today. 1 was not able to make it. She's out of the state traveling, but she wanted to be here. And so we want to recognize those employees. And of course, we want to recognize Charlie. And so we're hoping that we can get a picture at the end with everybody together, if that's okay. So I'm going to introduce you to each of the employees and share a little bit about them. First, Elizabeth Jesse. She's not here today. She's traveling, as mentioned. She's an RN nurse mentor here at Whittier. She's been here for a few years. And she's attending UNCG to get a bachelor's degree. She's already an RN, but she wants to get a bachelor's in the same program. Her long-term goal is to become a mentor for new nurses entering the field. She does a fantastic job, and currently that's what she does as a nurse mentor. She welcomes new nurses, she orients them to the community, she shows them the ropes, and so she'll be furthering her career at UNCG and her education, and we're so happy and proud to have her on our team. Next, if you've ever visited the Hub, you've probably seen or met Cooper. Cooper is a line cook at the Hub, and he's right here. Cooper, would you mind standing up so we all see you? Let's welcome Cooper. Now, Cooper does a little bit of everything at West. I've seen him on the pizza line, I've seen him on Saute, I've seen him at Cobles, right? You do a little bit of everything. I was talking to Cooper before this meeting, and I said, did you expect to fall in love with culinary arts? And he said, no. He said, at the time it was just a job. but I was given an opportunity, and I took the opportunity to begin cooking, and I fell in love. And that's what it says here. He found a passion for cooking and culinary arts as a whole as a result of working here at Friends Homes. I think that's really special. So his long-term goal is to run his own kitchen with a beautiful and uniquely crafted menu. Doesn't that sound great? Well, congratulations, Cooper. And did somebody say, and stay here? Did I hear that? We'll be happy to have Cooper as long as he'd like to be here. We're thankful for his time. And Josie. Josie is a CNA at Skilled Nursing. Come on up, Josie. Josie works at West. This is Josie. Josie has a wonderful story. Josie is an international student. She joins us from Rwanda. It's a long way away. She's been in the U.S. for a little over 2 years, and you came here to pursue nursing, right? Education. Wonderful. She works at West, and this is pretty neat. She just expressed a desire to also learn about Guilford as well, and hopefully come work here. So Josie is going to pursue a 2-year degree, an associate's degree in nursing. So keep that in mind, going from CNA to nursing. And I said, Josie, something tells me you're not stopping there, right? So what is your plan after your associate's degree?
Become a nurse, a CRNA.
That's great. Isn't that wonderful? So, and we're helping with that. So I just think that's so special. So congratulations. We have a gift for you. I forgot to mention, we have fun gifts for all of our students. Winter is coming. We're getting you a hoodie. And finally, Damaris Damaso Ariolis is a line cook at Kohl's. If you've ever, who's visited Kohl's for dinner? A lot of folks. So Damaris, I visit often at dinner time, and I see her, she's expediting. So she's making sure that your dinners look good, that we've fulfilled the order, that you place the order, and she's looking at the ticket and making sure that everything is there, and then she's also making sure that you get your food hot. Right? Get it out, right? Come on up, Damaris. Let's welcome Damaris. She works very hard for us at Kohl's. I consider Kohl's one of our fine dining restaurants, and she plays a big role in that. So Damaris also wants to pursue a degree in culinary arts. And she has a dream to one day have her own restaurant and produce meals that remind her of her own family, how she grew up, the recipes from her native land. And we think that's great. So we just want to congratulate you, wish you well. Thank you for your service to Friends Homes. Thank you all for your service to Friends Homes. And congratulations on winning the scholarship at Friends Homes. Let's give her a round of applause. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Now there's 3 scholarships at Friends Homes. There's a Clinard Fund, which was established long ago by a resident's family. And part of the funds actually came from the Clinard Fund that went to these folks. Charlie Ruth established a wonderful fund. And then there's a general fund. So that if other folks would like to donate to the employee scholarship fund, they can. So it's a great way to contribute to the lives of our employees. And so I want to thank everybody for rooting on our employees. I want to especially thank Charlie Ruth for his contribution to the Employee Scholarship Fund. Thank you so much, Charlie. And I want to thank everybody that's here today for continued support of this fund. So that ends our presentation. And as we do in every town hall meeting, we like to provide an opportunity for question and answer. So who would like to ask the first question? Is Gertrude over here?
What day can we have our picture made if we can't make it that day?
Can you repeat that into the microphone, please?
There's 2 dates for pictures. Neither date suits me. Can we find another date for pictures?
No, you're out of luck.
You would just come see me, Gertrude.
Yeah, you can call me to make sure I'm in my office, cause we all know I run around like a mad woman.
That's
So,
right.
there you go.
No, we wanna make sure everybody gets a picture, of course.
For the phone tree, is it possible for Kobels to have an option for reservation?
So we can kind of tweak it however we want. We did try to streamline the way that everything sounds, so I have to go back and look. I don't know that it specifically says a reservation, but we can always adjust that. I'm expecting a lot of feedback from you all as you test this out, so we'll, give it a little bit and try it and then make adjustments if we need to.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. It was like an act of Congress to get these changes made, to be honest with you. So I think it makes sense to take our time with making additional changes and see if we have a couple other changes that need to be made, we pile them all together, and every time we have the phone company make changes, they charge us. So we'll go ahead and make all those suggestions in one request. Thank you for that, and if we get more, we will pursue. Any other questions? Comments? No? Okay. It must be dinner time. We're close to it. Thank you all for coming out. We really appreciate it, and we look forward to seeing you next month.